got a notification that apparently Canelo has been suspended by the commission. It looks like he tested positive twice. Two different samples, I want to say just like a few days apart. Yeah, so that's kind of the story that's coming out right now. He has a hearing with the Las Vegas, or the Nevada State Athletic Commission, I'm sorry. And then they will determine if he can still fight or not. It's a temporary suspension. So we don't know, necessarily what exactly is going to happen. But yeah, I mean, he did test, apparently 2 samples were tested positive for clenbuterol. Dan Raphael said that he is temporarily suspended. It does put the rematch in jeopardy right now. I mean, hopefully it does, hopefully it still comes through, who knows. But as of right now, he is suspended. This causes a lot of stress, obviously, in both camps, because you don't even know if you're going to have a fight. Obviously, there's a lot of extra stuff to deal with that people don't want to be dealing with. It's a big problem, especially the fact that he tested positive twice. So I guess 2 samples came up positive. The fact that they're actually suspended him makes me wonder about the levels that are on there. I mean, I don't know. I do believe Canelo is a clean athlete. I don't think he would do something like that. I kind of thought John Jones was a clean athlete too. So, and I still kind of believe John Jones even. So, I don't know. I really don't know what to think about it. What do you guys think? Put your comments on here. Let's see. And they said the test on the 17th was high. Yeah, I know it was like the 17th and the 20th, I believe. I don't know. I don't know how much research is actually done on like meat contamination and how high those levels should be. But I guess the VADA does its job, and it is VADA too doing the testing. It isn't USADA, which UFC uses. I mean, USADA does catch a lot of people, but from my understanding, VADA is a little more strict, and they have a little more stringent testing than USADA does. But I don't know. Let's see. What do you guys think? Something has to be up for them to suspend him. Yeah, I don't know if it's because 2 samples came up, and that's why this suspension happened. I don't know if it's the levels. I mean, unfortunately, we don't have a lot of that information. I'm sure, obviously, as the hearing gets closer and things like that, we'll find out what the deal is. But if you're just joining us, like I said, Canelo has been suspended. Let's see, you're gonna give him a pass. I don't know. It is Canelo. It is a big fight. Obviously, it brings a lot of money to Vegas. But I think also the fact that it is such a big fight, and the fact that it is bringing so much attention to the sport of boxing, I can see, especially as legit as UFC has been, as far as definitely like finding their athletes and catching their athletes and stuff like that. So. And that, I feel like, legitimizes the sport some, because it's, all the major sports are very stringent on drug testing and stuff like that. I mean, baseball had that steroid era and all that stuff. But I feel like they've kind of cleansed their kind of figured out the problem to where people are back to thinking it's legit. And I think boxing is trying to get back to that point, especially with UFC being kind of a big fight sport rival. And they're catching all these athletes, and they're showing how they're trying to be clean. I feel that I think that boxing is trying to legitimize itself and show that it is a clean sport, and show that they, they're not gonna take, this isn't like the Wild West back in the day where you could just do anything. I remember Foreman and Ron Lyle were like given smelling salts and all kinds of stuff to kind of just keep going, to keep fighting. So. It's a new era. it is definitely a big step that the Nevada State Athletic Commission actually did suspend him. I don't know. I mean, who knows what actually happens with the fight, but the fact that they did it, I think, shows that they are trying to kind of be legitimate and show that, especially with all this stuff about Gennady saying that, you know, whatever it is, that Canelo's been cheating since the beginning or whatever, the injection sites in the belly and taking the pills and all that stuff, all the stuff that Gennady was saying. So the fact that Gennady was saying all that stuff, and I think Abel was also saying that it's like, you know, it's not a fair playing field and stuff like that. I think you're right, Duke. Yeah, I think it put pressure on them, and to where they're kind of like, you know, like we gotta at least show that we're, you know, that we're being equal and all that stuff. And like I said, I think they're trying to legitimize themselves as well. So, you know, at least taking this step at least shows that, you know, maybe it puts pressure on Camp Canelo to maybe, you know, find out where the meat came from, when he actually consumed it, where. Maybe it was a restaurant, maybe it was just some bought meat that he had, maybe. And then they can kind of further the investigation as far as like where, you know, maybe trace it back to a farmer. I don't know. I really don't know what's going to happen and how that trial is going to be. Yeah, they put their lives on the line. You can't let. I mean, yeah, definitely. If he is doing it unfairly, for sure, it's or purposefully. I mean, obviously, yeah. This is not like basketball or something where you just maybe twist someone's ankle really bad, or, you know, something like that. This is life and death in there. So it is definitely a lot more serious when it comes to like combat sports. It's interesting to see. I mean, do you guys feel that the suspension is legitimate? I mean, even as Canelo fans, you know, I don't know. How do you feel about that? Do you feel that that it is a good call, just so that this way they can kind of clear, you know, Canelo can kind of show, you know, whatever, like I said, like maybe prove where the meat came from, maybe trace it back to a farmer or something like that. You know, as Canelo fans, maybe you do want this. Maybe you want, you know, the trial, so you get your day in court, so to speak, and this way you can prove that, hey, look, we're tracing it back to this farmer, that he uses Well, this is where I ate the meat, whatever, and, you know, maybe that's a good call even for Canelo and Canelo fans, that if that's proven that that's where it came from, then, you know, maybe that clears your name. I don't know. But it is interesting that it's crazy that this is happening. I didn't see it coming, to be honest. I just kind of thought maybe with 2 months out that maybe it wouldn't make much of a difference. I was thinking maybe the levels were low, and so that's why maybe this wouldn't happen. They don't know. They don't know if he took it on purpose, but I believe that's what the suspension and the trial date is for, is to try to further, I guess, maybe for Canelo to make his case as far as, you know, what happened, what he feels happened. Again, for him to kind of present his case. So I don't know what they think, but he did, according to Dan Rafael's report on ESPN, he did test positive twice. On 2 different samples. I want to say the samples were only like a week apart from each other or something like that. So, I mean, that would make sense if they were just a week apart from each other, that obviously they would kind of both be positive, because I'm sure that stuff doesn't cycle out of your system in a week. Till April. The suspension? The 17th and the 20th. Yeah, they were both in February, correct? Duke. Let's see. It's an intentional show where they bought 8 and given them meat. Investigation to prove their innocence. Yeah, I agree. I think this is opportunity for Canelo to prove his innocence. I don't know how necessarily you do that again, but I mean, if he can, you know, this is the time to kind of clear your name. So yeah, as far as, I mean, I think at this point, I mean, it is Golden Boy's date, so I don't see, I don't know, that'd be kind of interesting to see if they even try to salvage the show if Canelo can't fight. Like I said, it is Golden Boy's date. I don't know what exactly, I don't know. I don't, I mean, I would think Golden Boy would want to keep the date, but at the same time, with so little time to push for anything, I haven't even heard any really undercard fights, other than, I think yesterday they said, obviously, Ryan Garcia is going to be on the undercard, but I wasn't sure if he was going to be on the pay-per-view portion, if he was just going to fight on that day. Obviously, he would have to have a big name to carry the Cinco de Mayo day. I don't believe they would still do a pay-per-view that day, just because no matter who they get to fight, Ryan, even if Ryan fights somebody big, I think it's too early, too late to build up a pay-per-view like that. I mean, unless you had just a bunch of great undercard fights. I don't know what's gonna happen there. But I could see maybe Triple G wanting that fight. I mean, I don't know if Golden Boy gives it up, but I mean, I could see Triple G still maybe fighting on that day just to get a fight in. Obviously, he still wants to get paid. He's still training. He's still working. The whole team's working. So, you know, if anything, we might get a Triple G versus somebody. You know, who knows? I don't know what happens with that. But now they have waited, and that's not an opinion. Okay, let's see. Murat, yeah, I mean, everyone is busy, so I don't even know who you get Triple G to fight, to be honest. Lemieux, maybe, again? Yay. Not really. So yeah, I really don't know who you would get Triple G to fight, or who would even want to fight Triple G on short notice on top of that too, but I guess at least we get a scrap, if that were to even happen. But again, I want to say it's Golden Boy's date, so I mean, they would have to come off of it first, which who knows if they're ever going to want to do, because that is a big money making date. People have already paid for hotels and tickets and all that stuff. Obviously, you would have to refund some of that stuff because it isn't the big fight, so no one's going to, you know, want to pay thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars for maybe like a lineup of a bunch of great undercards. But no matter, I mean, I don't know, who knows how great they would be, but I mean, obviously that would have to get all completely restructured and all that stuff. So yeah, it's interesting. This is just definitely a big, I don't know, it's a big turn of events. We'll see what actually happens. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you still want to see the rematch, regardless of if he tested, if the levels were high and stuff like that? He just wrote that, Canelo did, on his Twitter. Yeah, that would actually be, I mean, just something on yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure he still feels that he's gonna fight, but the problem is, I mean, this just broke, so, you know, I don't know how long ago he said that he was planning on still fighting, but this just happened. So unless he just tweeted it and it's just that, I mean, unless he's just that confident that the levels are low and he can prove that it was, you know, a contaminated meat, and he has, you know, like the farmer, I don't know, however he could prove it. Maybe he just knows he could prove it, and so that's why he's saying that he's still fighting that day, because he knows that he can. So I don't know. Oh yeah, he wrote it 3 minutes ago. Well, according to Canelo, according to you guys, he said that he's still fighting May 5th. He's still fighting Triple G. So you know, I don't know what that means exactly, but maybe he's still, like I said, maybe he feels that he has a case and he knows that he's going to be cleared. Hopefully that is the case, and so this way he clears his name, the fight goes on, you know, moving forward, and we all still get to see a great fight. But yeah, because especially at this point with how contentious both camps are and all that stuff, I mean, it's difficult already to get these two big names to fight each other obviously it took about 2.5, 3 years for it to finally happen. So the fact that so if it does get canceled for whatever reason, all the stuff they've been talking to each other and all that stuff, who knows it? I mean, I don't know. I hopefully it would get rescheduled if it does, but I don't know. This is a crazy new wrinkle. I'm getting information kind of how you guys are, just kind of minute to minute here. So hopefully the fight still goes through if things are proven to be on the up and up. But this is where we're at now. Luckily we still have May 12th, Leonidas Lomachenko, which is in New York, which hopefully I'll make it out to that. If not, I should have someone covering that for you guys. But yeah, tell me what you guys think. Does this hurt Canelo's legacy, do you feel? I have fans telling me that. Do you feel like it? I have fans telling me also saying that they feel even if Canelo wins this fight that maybe it's illegitimate. I don't know. A lot of people have a lot of strong opinions, so I don't know. I don't know what you guys think. Let's see what some of the comments say here. So he told everybody, don't believe this. Yeah, he said 3 minutes ago he's still fighting, so hopefully that's the case. It's like someone's like, "Oh, Duke, you said Canelo's a loser even if he wins." I mean, I don't know about that. He still won, but but I mean, if there are people going to question it, I mean, people are already telling me they're questioning. Fans are telling me that stuff. So I don't know. We'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if a Jacobs or I don't know, somebody else is just kind of ends up throwing their name on the hat, just to. I mean, shoot, it's bigger money to fight Triple G than it is to fight anybody else, What do I think about Ryan Garcia? I like Ryan Garcia. He's a good kid. He's super fast. Obviously, knocking everybody out. I'd like to see him do some rounds with somebody. So I want to see them get... I mean, but I don't know. It's not his fault that these guys aren't lasting either, so... But I mean, you give him like a veteran with a good chin who stood up to some people. I think, have him go some rounds. I think he'd benefit from that, and we get to see him, throughout the fight, kind of advancing himself and stuff like that. So, no, I'm with that. I like that. Jacobs is fighting that guy. Yeah, I know he is, but at the same time, I think HBO might scrap that date just to fight. Oh, that guy beat Centeno? I didn't know that. Edner Cherry is a vet. God, how old is Edner Cherry? He's maybe a little too old. He did spar Lomachenko. Gamboa would have been an interesting fight. I don't know. I want to see him fight like a hard-nosed veteran type guy. Just like I said, I just want to see Ryan go 8 rounds, 10 rounds. And again, it's not his fault. He's knocking all these guys out. I just want them to put him into a fight with a guy with a hard chin. And I mean, shit, if he knocks a guy out in 2-3 rounds, then obviously it's all legit. Hey, I appreciate it, Duke. Thank you, man. All right, guys. Well, appreciate you guys watching. Thank you very much. I'll try to keep you guys updated as much as I'm updated. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon so that you can be notified of all my live streams. I do a lot of live streams of like media events, press conferences, weigh-ins, media workouts, even like the media workouts that happen 2-3 weeks before the actual fight. So it's not like fight week stuff that you would know about already. It's stuff that would just happen live, just kind of maybe 2-3 weeks beforehand that the media knows about. So thank you all for watching. Really appreciate it. Like and subscribe to the video, share it. And we'll keep you guys abreast of the situation, whatever's going on. Thanks for watching.